Our next speaker is Kim Nickel from the School of Criminology. Oh, sorry, I'm completely wrong. From education.
Imagine for a moment you're a criminal justice practitioner responding to a victim of crime. Your victim is shattered by the experience, and they're looking to you to provide them with emotional and legal support. You begin to explain the victim their rights. Moments later, rushing into the room, is your very late criminal justice practicum student who's looking for your approval. Professionally preparing students for practice is your responsibility, beyond your work as a practitioner. And you do this work voluntarily, and you do this work on the corner of your desk. My former role as a practicum supervisor and my current role as a faculty member responsible for planning Practica guides my research, which is to understand the teaching expectations of practicum supervisors by examining the learning goals they have for Practica. Governments expect that university students will graduate employment ready. And as such, university decision makers have partnered with universities to plan Practica and connect with practitioners to plan Practica. University educators assume that practitioners, now practicum supervisors, will teach students how to connect course-based learning to complex social problems. University educators assume that practitioners, now practicum supervisors, will teach students how to cope with the underwhelming, like staying awake in class, so that they're equipped to cope with the overwhelming, like responding to a violent offender. Practitioners are trained to stare down the barrel of a gun, but they are not formally trained to teach. Students will describe their practicum as a success if they were satisfied with the experience, regardless of learning, regardless if they learned anything. And Practica researchers have focused almost exclusively on the student experience, despite all agreeing the critical role that the practicum supervisors play. It's the role we know the least about. My research is unique in its intention and in its focus. I will interview practicum supervisors with the goal of moving their contribution from the corner of their desk to a valued and supported teaching role. The relationship between the practicum supervisor, the university, and the student is a complicated one, and it's fraught with many, many challenges. And that relationship ends at the end of a semester with the supervisor evaluating the student's performance, which will in part determine the future success of that student in the field. How would you have evaluated the student that rushed late in your office? This is a very high-stakes game, as practicums continue to be expanded in fields and practitioners are increasingly relied on to teach students how to cope with the communities most vulnerable in the area of education, law, social work, medicine, and criminal justice. Thank you.